Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jeanette. I have a beauty sponge that I was sent to review. It's by the brand Instylish. Now they sent me two. This is the dry size and this is what size it is when it gets wet. So pretty big difference. This is one of those flocked beauty sponges. In the spirit of full disclosure, I will read you the actual email that I received from Instylish, okay? Your audience will receive a 10% discount on their first purchase. In addition to the free product, we'll offer you up to 20% commission from the sales of this sponge. I tested this sponge. I've been testing this sponge for a couple days and I do like it. That's why I decided to do the video with full disclosure. So the code is beauty10. I'll put it on the screen here. That is a code that you would use for 10% off. The link in the description box below if you're interested in trying the Instylish beauty sponge. And I think two of them were $12.99. This is my normal current foundation routine, and I have textured skin, pretty textured. And I don't like using the Beauty Blender because I feel like I don't get into the pores and crevices of my face. So I normally use a flat top kabuki brush or a flat top makeup brush to apply my foundation. The flocking on this beauty sponge, it's not super thick pile, but it is sort of a velvet touch. And I feel like this is something that will get into my cracks and crevices better than a Beauty Blender. That's why I don't use Beauty Blender. I use a brush, and I'm going to do one side using the sponge and the other side using my flat top foundation brush. Going in with Maybelline Dream Urban Cover in SPF 50. This is the color 235 Almond. I'm going to actually use my brush first and show you guys on one side of my face the coverage I get with this. Now, as you can see, I don't know if you saw before, okay, you can see on this side, you see this sunspot? I have one right here as well. So let's concentrate on the coverage with that. So now we're gonna go to this side and I'm gonna use the Instylish Beauty Sponge. I'm going in with the same amount of product. Dip right into this. And this is a side where I have ice pick scars. I've been using this sponge for a couple of days and I feel like the coverage is better. It's certainly better than what I get with the Beauty Blender. To me, they look exactly the same, but with that being said, if you're someone who doesn't like foundation brushes and you prefer a sponge, this is a lovely sponge. Speaking from using Real Technique and Beauty Blender, I like this sponge better. I feel like it covers a little bit better. It gets into all of my pores better and distributes the product just fine. And I like the size of it, and it's really nice and soft and bouncy. So as you can see, there's the coverage from the Instylish flocked beauty sponge and my normal flat top kabuki. I'd say they're about the same. So that's good. Now I'm gonna go in with my under eye concealer, trying out this Liquid Camouflage by Catrice. And this is my first layer of defense for my under eyes. And a little bit down the side of the nose. So for the rest of the video, I'm going to use the Instylish Beauty Sponge. I'm not going to use the flat side yet. I'm going to use the kind of rounded side to blend in this concealer. Now this will look really light on camera, but this is where sort of the actual contouring and stuff of the face, contouring of my gigantic face begins. And I think this blends just fine. I like the size of it. For me, it feels like it's a little bit bigger than a Beauty Blender. The reason I don't particularly care for Beauty Blender also is because, well, the price, first off. And second of all, it feels like it takes forever to do blending. So a bigger sponge is actually quite nice. You can see it blends perfectly fine. So I'm just taking Revolution Makeup, their Bake and Blot Lace Powder, and it's really light. And I'm going to use the flat side of the Instylish sponge and just begin doing like reverse contour on my schnoz and setting this concealer. And I basically just, when I contour my nose, I basically have to start off with a whole new nose. Today I'm using the In the Saddle Aura Powder by Sigma. I've hit pan on it. I hit pan on it quite a few few weeks ago. So we're gonna go in and bronze. And I'm gonna go heavy on the bronzer because this is my updated, this is how I do my makeup, my foundation now, okay? So it's a process, and it's a process that's different for everybody. So that is the bronzer. What do I do next? I think I'm gonna do a little bit of nose contour, which I never do on my channel because I kind of stink at it, but I've been trying to get better at it. So I'm gonna go in with the Revolution Desert Sky Sculpt and Glow palette. As you can see, I've hit major pan on the sculpting color. I basically blank out my entire bridge of my nose because I don't really have a strong bridge. And I'm gonna start right in here where my eyebrow begins, but I'm just going to very lightly go in, and I also like this to look sort of square. So right in there. I don't really have deep eye sockets or a very pronounced bridge of my nose. Do you see? My nose is quite bulbous on the bottom, deepening up what would be that part of my nose, the bridge of my nose. I don't do too much here, and then I'm just going to very lightly go along here. This is where my nose gets very bulbous. Most people like to do that little line across the nose. I don't do that because I already have a line across my nose and I don't like it. I'll do a little tiny bit of what's left on the brush, I guess, down the sides here. Now, I don't contour my nose every day. I normally don't do it at all, but I'm gonna go back in with the very light lace color. Oh, a lot of work. And I'm gonna take the tip of it and I'm gonna run that right down, right up here, because I want the bridge of my nose to stand out more. And as you can see here, I actually have a dent. I actually have a dent right here in my nose that goes in. On this side, it doesn't have that. So I've got to try to make this part come out more. And then I have a dent right here. So that's gonna sit there for just like a few seconds. Then I go in with my Fit Me Matte Poreless, and this is in the color 220, Natural Beige. And this is where I just sort of blend all this in, blend in any nose contour that may have gone slightly awry, as well as any bronzer. And then I got this blush from Glossybox, and it's a really pretty, it's called Peach Blossom, and it's such a pretty color. I don't know if you guys can see that, and swirl it in the cap. And very lightly go into the cheek edge area. I always run my blush a little bit over the nose and a little bit up in here. Ties it all in together. I think I'm actually gonna go in with my Sculpt, a little bit of the Sculpt powder on my bronzing brush and just sort of go in here. This is missing some blending, yep. So I'll break into my Jeffree Star by Morphe Set and Refresh Mist in the scent Starberry. I just love, what pretty packaging. I haven't tried this yet, so I don't know what the scent is. I don't know if any of you saw how I fixed my broken Rodeo Drive travel size highlighter by Ofra. I haven't used it since I fixed it. And I'm gonna go in with my highlighter brush and tap into this. I wanna show you that it hasn't changed the formula. It's still good. You can still see powder coming off of the brush, so it didn't completely dry it out. And I'm just gonna highlight right where I normally do. And a touch right on the bridge of the nose, upper lip. That's about it. So this is my finished current foundation makeup routine with eyebrows, using the Instylish Microfiber sponge. I really like it. Again, I will link everything in the description box below, as well as the discount code if you would like to try the sponge out for yourself. The price is fantastic. The sponge actually really works for powder, concealer, foundation. I'm gonna do a little bit of an eye look. I have this eye look in my head that has to come out right now. So I'm gonna get to filming that for you guys, and that will be up soon. So take care of yourselves, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye, you guys.